Okay, so I am going to be doing another video of Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition. The last video I kept calling it the Extended Edition because I could not be arsed to remember which one was which. Anyway, I am actually going to start by rolling a new character. Previously, I had been playing with I believe it was lawful evil cleric, and unfortunately, I am just not a big fan of clerics. I tend to always play mages, which I know is boring. Hi, cat. Please go away. Thank you. Um, I always tend to play as a mage, which I know is boring, but that's what I'm used to. So I decided to start over and also show a couple of little tricks that I have when rolling a new character. So to begin, of course, here is the character generation screen. I've chosen custom character. We'll start with gender. I'm going to go ahead and play as female because that's what I do. Now, there are a number of preset portraits that are available. I'm going to go ahead and scroll through those now. The Enhanced Edition does add a number of new portraits to the existing ones. Here's the first one, and they kind of go through here, and they're fairly nice. This is the last one of the new portraits. I'm sorry, this is the last one. I did elect to download a portrait pack just because I wanted to kind of take a look through here. Some of them are really nice. And I probably should have decided which one I was going to choose before I came here. Oh God, let's be. No, she's alright. Okay, we'll do her. That works. Now, this is going to sound a little silly, but the game starts out with you as being of age, and your adoptive father, I suppose, being Gorion, who found you as a small child and has been raising you ever since. Gorion is a human, and in order for you to be of age, and he found you at whatever age that was, it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense for you to be an elf because elves live a very, very long time. And that always bothered me slightly. So I tend to go with half elf, mostly because I really like infravision. So we're going to go ahead with half elf, and of course, like I said, I'm going to choose mage. And they have sorcerer as an option, but oh gosh, I think I'll just stick with mage. No, wild mage. Wild mage is a lot of fun. If you're interested in doing something a little bit new, wild mage is a new type of magic that is characterized by powerful and dangerous surges of unpredictable magic. Basically, you will have times where you will attempt to cast a spell, and you might cast an extremely powerful spell, you might cast an extremely idiotic spell, or you might actually cast the spell that you wanted. That's fun, but we're not going to do that. I tend to stick with good. I feel like this game is a lot easier to play if you're going good. Neutral in general is very difficult to play because it's if you're playing a pen and paper D&D game, that it's a little bit easier to play neutral. But with this game, you do have sort of a preset number of answers you can give to any query or anything like that, any quests requests. And neutral isn't really one of the options, so you kind of have to seesaw between being really good and really bad to really play as a neutral character. I tend to stick with good because it just makes the game easier. It's geared, I'm sorry, more towards a good character. So, go ahead and neutral good. Very, very standard character. Okay, so here's my favorite part. I have a lot of time on my hands, apparently, and I am also a little bit obsessive about these games. So, what I like to do is the reroll. So, what I always do is start out with, or by taking a look at the character I've created and taking all of the points down as far as they could go so I can see kind of the number of points I have to work with. So my total roll here is 77, which is actually pretty good. Let's go ahead and store that. And so what you can do then is if you like the number but you kind of want to keep trying, um, you can store it and bring it back up later. And then I reroll. Now, with Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition, you don't really need to do this, as it tells you your total roll down here. But if you're playing the standard Baldur's Gate, you do, because you have to take it all the way down to see how many points you have. That is also pretty good. And I will literally sit here for upwards of 5 or 6 minutes, just rolling over and over again to see the highest number I can get. Oh, look at that, 82. That's nice. Ooh, that's very nice. I'll keep that. And of course, you can recall what you stored by pressing the recall button, which is, I suppose, fairly obvious. I have not made, actually I haven't touched Baldur's Gate since the last video I made. I have been spending some time spinning yarn and crocheting, and unfortunately I've done that so much that I have managed to hurt my arm, so this is probably the better option at this point. Then, oh, I think even I'm getting bored. Okay, we'll just go ahead and stick with that 88, which is quite nice. Then, of course, I will take everything down as far as it can go and decide what attributes I want to start with. Now, a couple of things about putting in your attributes is, of course, you are going to change your attributes that you put in depending on what class you've chosen. And so it is very important to tailor your character towards the class. So obviously I've chosen Mage. Now with Mage, it's very important to have a high intelligence, because the higher intelligence that you have can learn more spells. As in, you can... I'm sorry, I've paused there for a moment because I actually cannot remember which is which. Intelligence and wisdom are both important for mages, even though wisdom seems like it wouldn't be. Intelligence, I believe, is the spells that you can... the number of spells that you can learn. And I think it's wisdom is the number of spells that you can have available to you at any one time. So like the number of spell slots you're given. And I feel like a moron because I can't remember which is which. At any rate, intelligence and wisdom are surprisingly both important. So we're going to go ahead and pop intelligence up as high as we can, and we're going to give wisdom a good 12. That's good. Dexterity is very important for a mage because mages are not very strong. We'll start with 13 and kind of see where we go. We'll go ahead and give ourselves a 10 in strength. I like 10 to be my base stat. Strength tends to be my dump stat when I'm a mage. And you would think it would be charisma. I like having a high charisma character. Don't ask. I just do. I'm overcompensating for something. Okay, so we have 9 points left, which is quite nice. We'll go ahead and drop 2 more into dexterity, because that is very important. And we will put a few there in constitution, because that determines your hit points, basically. And I guess it wouldn't hurt to drop those 2 into strength. That is a fairly well-balanced character all around. Let me take one out of here and put it in wisdom. Okay, we're done. So, there is that. Now, of course, this is determining how many slots you have for weapons. We are going to want to do sling, because we only get 1 proficiency slot. And as a mage, the last thing you want to do is to be wandering up to people and smacking them with wooden sticks, because you will die very, very rapidly. And then I always choose Magic Missile. I do actually have 1 additional spell I can choose, and I go with Identify because it can be a real bitch to be able to find Identify spells. And we are almost out of time here, so for appearance, I'm of course going to have let's do that.